They've messed this country up so much now that they're looking at good people to get them back into the police, the military, your industries as well out there to solve this shit. At some point, the British people are going to have to take back control. And I use the word British, but you can say English, Scottish, Welsh, Northern Irish. It doesn't matter what you want to say. It's whatever you see yourself as. Personally, I see myself as English, although I am half Welsh. So it doesn't really matter. But if you're living in Great Britain, United Kingdom, England, Scotland, it doesn't matter. You got to take back control. I just saw President Trump talking about misinformation and disinformation bill. He's talking about corporations, news organizations, silencing people for speaking, well, what they think is the truth. If we remember Lucy Connolly, Peter Lynch, RIP, people like that are locked up for saying things that might be stupid. It might be not a great thing to say. It might be something we say after a few glasses of wine. Truth is, as I've always said, you should still be able to say it. I was arguing with the dude last night, eventually blocked him anyway. Turns out he hates Jews. I don't know what we can say on YouTube, but it turns out this guy really, really hated Jews. Jews are responsible for every problem in the world, this guy was saying. I think it's so complicated that I don't talk on it because you can go back as far as you want, guys. You know, the whole Palestine thing, Gaza thing, whatever it is. Right, fine. So I don't talk on it. It's like I read about it, don't talk on it. I'm not an expert. This guy felt he was. Anyway, I had to block him. But he was calling me all sorts of things. All sorts of things. I'm happy to listen to it, right? I'm happy to listen to it. He can say what he wants, right? Fine. I'm not going to report him to the police. He might be an idiot. I might go, mate, you're an idiot. Block. Happy. But I'm not going to report the guy to the police for what he was saying. And we shouldn't. The police aren't there for that. I'm going to tell you a story in a minute about the police and, you know, really, it's quite a sad story actually, but I think it's quite important to show the state of the country as it is from real world stories, right? I'll tell you a story in a second. So President Trump, he's going to go after all these news organizations, all the companies that have shadow banned platforms like on YouTube channels like my own. He's going to go and tear them apart. He says pretty much at scale, en masse, he's going to rip this censorship out. And that's because we need to be able to speak freely and we need to be able to make mistakes. The problem with, and in fact, look at David Starkey's latest video on Keir Starmer. It's very interesting. He talks about Keir Starmer as the chief public prosecutor, the rules-based man. And this is one of the biggest issues we've got. There's so many rules from so many quangos in the UK. Law has so many different things in it that you don't know what you can say and what you can't say. So what happens when you don't know what you can say and what you can't say? You don't say anything at all, do you? You don't say anything because you don't want to end up going through a court of law. And those things that were said by Lucy, Peter and everything else, yeah, they weren't sensible. All right. Most people kind of go, yeah, we just ignore them, don't we? But like sticks and stones, I'm Gen X, right? People just say all sorts of random stuff. Maybe it is because I'm Gen X. I look at this and go, why are you listening to that idiot, mate? Like, why are you listening to it? That's what I said, like, whenever someone has a go at me on social, you're an idiot. You might be drunk up. It doesn't matter. I haven't got to listen to you, mate. I'll just block you, whatever, or mute you. It doesn't matter. But I don't have to report you to the police. We don't want to live in that state. We don't live in that kind of communist state where we report people to the police, where the police are looking out for people that are saying the wrong things. I'll tell you why we have to keep the police free from looking out for people who are saying the wrong things. My wife's got a mate. She runs a business. She, you know, works super hard, this girl. Doesn't earn that much, works super hard. Her husband had a job, well, he's got a job, sorry, where he works really, really hard in his job. And so he rewarded himself by buying himself a new car on a PCP, put payment down, bought himself quite a decent car. I don't want to say what car it was because of the nature of the crime that took place. So let's just call it something like an RS6 M4. You know, it's a saloon type fast. I've got an RS4. It's like that, you know, like one of those cars. Got and bought himself one of those, brand new, right? Lovely vehicle. On his driveway for 3 weeks before criminals came, removed the lock from the back door, stole it in the middle of the night, got the keys, stole the car in the middle of the night. So the police said to him, never going to find it again, mate. You know, within 5 minutes, they get the car off the driveway, take the tracker out, and then they're gone. And where I am and where this guy was, they've got access to motorways and shit. They've come down from Birmingham. They're looking for cars because they're going to do either sell the car on, take it out of the country, break it for parts, brand new vehicle they're going to break for parts, or they're going to use it for a job, you know, for some crime that they need a fast getaway vehicle from. You know, that's what they're going to do. So, okay, the guy's going to get money for the car, whatever. He goes and buys another one, that kind of stuff. His insurance goes through the roof. Your and my insurance goes through the roof. Police should be there for that. They can't be. There's not enough of them. Right, you know what I mean? And we haven't got the experience. 70% of police have less than 5 years experience. And whether you like the police or not, whether you think the police are involved in all this kind of like shutting down people for what they say, and I'm sure they are, we all know that, right? Which police are they? Are they police like my father? My father left the police at 55 after 37 years service. Is that the police officer that really worries about what you speak, what you're saying? No, of course it's not. It's the young'uns. It's the indoctrinated ones that come out of university. It's the 70% police who've got fewer than 5 years service. Those are the police that are saying, well, I'm offended by what you're saying, I'm going to arrest you. We need experience in the police force. This brings me on to the Air Force because I've been asked to rejoin. I'll do a whole new tape on it, guys, but they need experienced guys to come back in the Air Force. I don't particularly want to go back in the Air Force. I've built a life outside of it now, you know what I mean? And we were saying this back in 2010, don't lose the experience because once it's gone, you know what I mean? Now they're trying to offer us money to come back in, all that kind of good stuff. And, you know, and I don't want to. It's good money, but I don't want to. I've done it. And it's hard life and I don't want to live where they have to live and everything else. And I don't want to do it again. But that's the problem. They've messed this country up so much now that they're looking at good people to get them back into the police, the military, your industries as well out there to solve this shit. President Trump's coming back in again because he's seen it all. He's like, he loves his country, right? He's having none of this communist, Marxist bullshit. See, I know this video's get taken down now, isn't it? You know how it is, guys, because YouTube doesn't let this kind of content stay up on its channel. But he's come in, he's like, right, I'm not only going to rip this stuff out, I'm going to find out who's been doing this. And that's what we need to be doing in the UK. We need to be looking at the heads of our military, the heads of our government, the civil service heads. I've been talking about it on this channel for a very long time. Who are people responsible for doing this? Where are they? It's not acceptable. Let's get these people. Let's work out what they've done. Let's hold them to account. If we don't hold people to account, other people think it's all right to do it. We need to make examples of people. I'm not talking in a vindictive manner. I'm talking about in a manner where you put them in front of people and you say, what do you reckon? Is this guy had the best interest of the country at heart or not? Or was he thinking about his next career move or not? What was the reason that he did this? We need to be doing more of that, guys, to be fair. And we're not doing any of it, are we? Trump's going to come in. He's going to do that. He's going to rip out the heart. I saw Elon Musk post that thing as well. He's going to rip out the heart of all this censorship. Because why are we being censored? The thing about like when Alex Jones was censored, remember Alex Jones was that shock jock, wasn't he? He's got his own InfoWars thing. I look at it sometimes because I like the way Alex presents and you know what I mean? He's mad as a stick, obviously, don't get me wrong. But when he was censored and fined heavily for that Sandy Hook thing, and we all understand it, and he apologised for it, but it was too late then. He was sued for like billions of dollars or whatever to make an example of him, wasn't it really? You know what I mean? But I get it, you know. He said some rubbish stuff. I want to hear him saying rubbish stuff. What I mean by that is I want to know what he's thinking because then I can maybe do something about it. If I don't hear it, it goes underground. I want people, pro-Palestinian people in the marches. I want them shouting nasty things about Jews so I can go, sorry, mate, was that you? All right, okay, I'll come and have a look at you now, mate. Because I know what the guy thinks. And now I can address it. I can say to it, like the guy on Twitter last night. Right, mate, why do you think that? Well, because of all this. Yeah, but that was heavily discredited, mate. Well, I don't think so. Well, I've got this information here to say it was. So let's have a discussion on that. If you don't know what he's saying, if you can't hear him because we've repressed speech so much, well, he's not going to say it, and then we don't know what these people are. They're going to rise up, and they're idiots. It's like, I saw this thing in Birmingham that's going to happen tomorrow on Remembrance Sunday, where pro-Palestinian marches are going to have a Remembrance Sunday for those killed in Gaza. This thing flashes me right up. It flashes me right up. Almost as much as women coming into men's spaces and what happened with all that, you know what I mean? And the fact that we don't have separate spaces now. It's like you can't allow veterans to go and remember their own dead because you got to take that over. I'm trying to not swear as much because I'm a bit livid about this, guys. And then I heard that the veterans were going to turn their backs on Starmers. We don't do that. We don't turn our back on the Prime Minister, no matter how much you'd like him or dislike him. You're a veteran. You don't turn your back on people. You go there and you remember your own dead. But I will say, if I was up in Birmingham on a Remembrance Parade and I saw some of these Palestinian people coming up to try and remember the people that have been killed in Gaza, I'd feel very difficult to restrain myself. I would, because I'm a professional man, but that kind of stuff flashes me right up. But we need to be able to hear them, right? So here's the thing. We need to be able to hear what they say. They won't, will they? They'll stand there with little placards and stuff, but we need to be able to hear people saying stuff. And that's why I'm a bit of a free speech absolutionist. I want to hear these people in this march talk about whatever they're talking about so I can hear it, I can address it. This country, there's something fundamentally wrong, and I think the problem that we've got is we've got 5 years of this. 5 years of this. So what can we do? How can we be strong? I talk about community. You know how I talk about it, guys. I talk about clearing up our own areas. Pick up litter. Look after each other. Look for that person that's not doing too well. Especially men. You don't normally see it, right? Because men are quiet, aren't they? And then men go and, you know, do the ultimate thing because they've got themselves into a really bad place. There's certain things I can't say on this channel, as you know, because the videos get taken down. And this is what I mean. It's like we should be able to say stuff. We should be able to talk freely and openly and be questioned and challenged on our views. And we can't. We're in like a police state at the moment. Yes, I know some people are idiots, but we have to be able to know that we should be able to say what we feel and it not end us up in jail. I've said stupid things in my time, probably say stupid things now, to be fair, you know what I'm saying? We should be able to say things. I probably sense my frustration. I'm happy that Trump is back in. I think I'm happy. And another thing about this as well, I know a lot of these lefty types, right? They don't really care. And I'll be honest, I've got some in the family. Even when I speak to them about Trump coming back in, they rage about it. They're angry about it. And then it's over. They're done. Because there's a veneer. Their argument is surface level. There's no depth to it. They're just ideologues. They don't realise, they don't understand the importance of family. They don't understand the importance of free speech. They don't understand the importance of you know, proper, real things like social mobility, community. They don't understand these things, like a proper police force that's there to protect your property. I've got someone in my family who's really pro-immigration. She wants loads of people, of course, wants people in. Why shouldn't we have more immigrants, asylum seekers, all that stuff? And I said to her, do you lock your house at night? She goes, yeah. Why'd you do that? Well, because I don't want people to steal my stuff. I'll leave you with that. Doesn't want to shut the borders, but it's happy to lock our house up. We'll work it out. We're British, aren't we? English, Scottish, Welsh. We'll work it out. We always have done. Irish, bring those guys in there. They're having a massive battle over there in Ireland. Fair play to you guys. You know what? We're backing you up 110%. Got to look after each other. That's the thing about this country. Everyone's got each other's backs, haven't they? It's going to be a big thing happening, guys. It's all coming. We know it's coming. Make yourself fit. Get yourself fit mentally and physically, all right? 12 minutes. I'll leave it there. Tim Davies, Fast Ship Performance.